Well, I've been having so much fun with the exterior flooring cube, I decided to do another side of it today. Stay tuned and see how fun and easy this one is. All right, so to start with, I've got 2 pieces of poster board that are way bigger than I'm going to need. This way I have extra, so I can pick and choose which blocks I'm going to use in the end. I'm going to set one aside, and off camera, I'm going to paint it with black acrylic paint. On camera, I'll start this one, and then I'll finish it up off camera. I've got another piece, and like I said, these are way bigger than I need. And I'm sorry the lighting's strange. It's super early in the morning, and I want to get this done. So I've put out 2 brown paints. In fact, I'm going to add a little bit of, just a tiny bit of gold to that. So I've got just a tiny bit of golden sunset, this burnt umber, and woodsy smoke. Sorry, pollen count is super high this morning, so I am really congested. And I've got this brush, and I'm going to kind of mix these, but not mix them evenly. I think I'm going to want a little more dark in there. I want overall a dark wood color, or a dark brown color, but I want it to not be a solid brown. I really need to go paint shopping specifically for brown paint. And now I'm going to attempt to not have this be too solid. I want stripes. I want what looks like a wood grain. I'm doing this on top of wax paper simply to cut down on the mess. It makes cleanup a lot easier because I can just throw that away when I'm done painting. So I'm going to finish this, and then I'm going to paint the other one black. And I am painting on the not shiny side, on the more matte side of the poster board in both cases. So when this paint is dry, I'll come back and I'll show you the next step. All right, my paint is dry on both pieces, so I'm going to set the black one aside. And I'm going to cut the first couple on camera, and then I'm going to turn the camera off and do this off camera. This now needs to be cut into 1/4 inch wide strips, making sure the long way goes this way, so that those paint marks become my grain lines. So I know that this is 6 inches wide. And I only cut it 6 inches wide because I have a 6-inch wide ruler, so that's why I cut it that way. So I'm lining this up so that I get nice straight lines. Keeping in mind I do have a little extra, so if I'm off on one, it'll be fine. And I'm just going to cut all of this into 1/4 inch wide strips. And when I get this all cut, I will come back and we will go on to the next step. All right, I have these all cut, and now we need to start gluing them down. And I've kind of mixed them up so that the last thing I want would be to have 2 that were cut next to each other end up next to each other. So I don't think that's going to happen here. Now I'm going to line up, the first I'm going to put down a piece of wax paper. Again, just so it makes it easier to clean up my mess. Now I have tacky glue. And I'm going to, and you could use other glue. I tend to use tacky glue because I have the best luck with it. I know a lot of people use glue sticks and they have good luck with them. I've just had too many times where I've used glue sticks and I've come back and my stuff has come apart. And maybe it's the glue sticks I buy, maybe it's something else, I don't know. But I just prefer to spread a thin layer of tacky glue on. Now, this first one, I want to line up right pretty close to the edge. Just the smallest little bit of black showing. Then I'm going to reach over and grab the ruler I forgot. And I'm going to put this ruler on here and set something heavy on it just so it stays still. When this has time for the glue to set up so it won't move, I'll come back and we'll add a couple more strips. I'll be right back. All right, that glue's had time to set up, so that's not going to go anywhere now. And now it's just a matter of adding these strips. I'll try and show you how far I'm going to space them apart, and I'll try to have a picture on the blog showing the spacing. Do your best to get these straight and to not get glue up on the top. If a little glue oozes, though, it's not the end of the world. And remember, if things aren't perfect, it's okay. For one thing, we're not going to use the whole sheet. At least my intention is that I'll have more created here than I actually need, so that I can, pick and choose. Now just a small, oops, let's get it laid down. Try and get them straight, but lay them about like that. And I'm going to continue to fill up as I'll put 2 or 3 down, and then I'll let it sit for a little bit, probably 5-10 minutes, come back, do other things, come back, put a few more down until I have the whole sheet covered. And when that's done and they're dry, I'll come back and I'll show you where we're going to cut this apart and how we proceed. All right, these are glued on, and the glue is not completely dry, but fairly dry. So now I have, and I didn't cover the whole thing, I did most of it. I'm going to break this into sets of 3 strips. So we've got 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to use my scissors, I think, rather than my knife, because I can get in and be really precise. And I'm going to cut all of these apart into sets of 3. I think I'm going to go from this end now, making sure I'm cutting in the right spot. And I'm going to cut this down so I have strips of 3, and I'll be right back. Now off camera, I also trimmed off so the ends are even. And now I have all these strips that are sets of 3 boards that are all pretty much the same width. I got them really close. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use 1 as a measure. Rather than measuring it with a ruler and coming up with some odd measurement, I'm just going to cut everything into pieces that are that long. It'd be easier if I don't have everything in my way. Make sure everything is held together straight so you get nice square pieces. And then once I have all of these cut, I will come back and we can start putting our floor together. So I'll be right back. All right, I have those all cut, and now we are going to start putting our floor on our cube. So I'm going to start in a corner and work out. Make sure I have the corner up there. So put glue on the back of one of your squares. And if some of them are off a little bit in size, that's okay. We can use those against edges, all that stuff. This one this way. So we put this one with the boards running that way. Then we're basically making a basket weave pattern with this. At least that's what I would call it. So the next one is going to go right here. So I'm going to put glue on it and line it up. And this one's a little bit long, but that's okay. I can trim it when the glue's dry. I can trim it from the side. And then put another one on. Now this one runs the other way again. And we're just going to cover the entire surface. And when you get to the edge, just leave, if you've got some hanging off, that's okay. We go that way. And the next one will go the other way. Whoops, make sure we're straight with the edge of the cube. And I know technically we probably should have started in the middle and worked out, but on the cube I'm not going to. And I probably wouldn't on a dollhouse patio either. I think in real life you would. All right, so I'm going to continue this and cover the entire surface. When it's covered and dried, I will come back and we will see how it looks and probably put a clear finish on. So I'll be right back. All right, all the blocks are in place and the glue is mostly dry. I've got some matte Mod Podge. I'm going to just give a light coat of matte Mod Podge. That'll do a couple of things. Number one, it will seal the wood and give it the faux wood and give it just a slight shine, and it will help to hold everything down. So I'm going to get this on, let it get dry, and then I'll come back and we'll look at our finished floor. My Mod Podge has a couple of spots that need to finish drying, but overall it's dry. I love how this came out. This could be used either inside or outside. I've seen the same type of flooring done both in and out. And again, I'm not worried about the very edges because we only have one more side to do on this exterior floor cube. And then I'm going to figure out some kind of a edging to edge everything with. We may lose our framing around this when I do that, but I will decide what I'm going to do about the edges when I get that far. But that is how easy this type of flooring would be, either for a patio or an inside your dollhouse. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Be sure and check the blog post for photos and more information. If you liked the video, hit the like button. Leave me a comment. What kinds of things would you like to see on future videos? If you enjoy my content and haven't subscribed, I encourage you hit that subscription button and the notification bell so you know when I put up a new video. Thank you very much for watching today, and I will talk to you next time. Bye.